Okay.
Yeah, so
We're
you know
about
how
to
to use a
record.
telephone.
We're
That's great.
about to record historically the first ever Wife's Own podcast episode. Who knows? I'll probably never see the light of day. Oh,
Let's hope.
that's not very kind. Be nice, please. Okay.
I'm Randall.
No. Are we recording now? I thought just the video was recording.
That's why we have the Wife Zone.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Was that too loud? Did I
Probably.
just blast everyone? Hi, everybody. I'm Susie. I'm the wife. You're Randall. You're the husband, right?
And here's the zone.
This is the zone.
This is the Wife's Zone.
Fellow wife zoners. I'm really sorry about the Susie Mac sign at the back for those of you watching on video.
I like it.
Yeah, but it's not me. It should be the Wife Zone. Anyway, this is our very first episode of our little potty pod. We've been married for, surprisingly,
25 years of living hell.
almost. Next February will be
24 and a
25 years.
half. Sorry.
So
It's not like she likes to correct me or anything.
And the reason we have started the Wife Zone is actually because of you guys. Because Randall thinks that some of the stuff I say is ludicrous. And got into the habit roughly 25 years ago of writing down some of the, let's say, interesting things that I say when I can't think of the right words. You guys will learn later what we do for a living and all that sort of stuff. But suffice to say, I talk for a living.
Who cares?
So therefore, the fact that when
We don't
I'm
care.
not working, I often can't be bothered just stringing words together properly because that's just a waste of time. What we are not is journalists. What we are not going to do, we're just going to have a conversation and we're going to share with you guys and with all of your
It's not
feedback.
scripted. We're not going to read. It's
not
not going to
reading
be
anything
big
out.
production value. We're
Nope.
just yakking.
It's just fun, but it's also in response to you guys because as Randall for all these years has been posting on Facebook, the Wife Zone, quotes, situations, phrases, the comments we get are overwhelming and people going, oh my God, I need to hear more. And but also I don't want you to think that it's like a thing that's, wife beating and putting women down, because in actual fact we get a lot of comments from people saying,
Come on.
oh my gosh,
95% are in favour of what you have said, and they say,
they go,
Randall, get with the program.
what's wrong with you, Randall?
What is wrong with
How
you?
can you not know what she's
I
talking
completely agree
about?
with Susie. So
Yeah.
I'm against it here.
Yeah.
I'm pushing it uphill.
So in terms of the Wife Zone, it's actually incredibly positive.
It's legitimate stuff that she says after she comes home from work. She works, let's say, she works on the television and she ad-libs. And when she's doing that, it's perfect, it's fine. There's no ums, ahs, there's no stumbles, there's no wrong words, there's all sorts of compliance that she has to adhere to. There's legal people watching. It's hard. And she comes home and she turns into a blithering imbecile and cannot string
My brain is tired.
a sentence together.
My brain is tired.
And
or if I'm doing voiceovers, I have a script and I don't have to think about the words.
However,
Yeah, all that to say.
one time,
I think, no. I remember, this is what's going to happen.
see, this is what I live with.
This is what's going to happen. He's going to say, don't edit me. I'm not editing you, but I did say to you, darling,
Right.
follow my lead.
So that's
Follow
not an
my
edit.
lead.
It's just interruption.
I felt that for our listeners, because it's a podcast, although people are filming it these days, so we decided at the last minute to film this.
Yeah.
And you're welcome. I was the engineer of the family and rigged up. I did. I have rigged up my phone so you can see this.
I will document a photograph of her rigging this up, engineering-wise.
I did. So we're both in frame. Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway,
and-
all that to say,
Yep.
because we're really just doing it for posterity. But clearly, there's
We're
no
doing it for
hair
fun.
and makeup or anything like that.
Because it's fun and
'Cause-
we love each other mad.
Like crazy, and we're in our home studio. We're
We are.
literally at home,
We are at home.
because we have been in studios all our lives. Randall is a musician, me as a actor, a singer,
many would agree.
voiceover artist, TV presenter, whatever. So studios aren't foreign to us. Now, what I was going to say though is, being our very first episode, darling, that first of all, I want everyone to know I was never on Facebook. And so I didn't really know what you were posting. I didn't care what you were posting. And you would tell me all these lovely comments from people saying, Randall, you imbecile. How can you not know what she's talking about? So I thought, and we're going to keep this short and sweet because we don't want to prattle on. And like I said, we're not scripting anything.
But we're just
it's
trying
not
to
an interview.
Set it up since this is the first
it's
episode.
A conversation.
We just want to set it up.
So I feel like saying to everyone that from my memory, and correct me if I'm wrong because your memory is better than mine. From my memory, did you not make sure your phone was on silent? Oh, good Lord.
Apparently not.
I was actually going to say, is your phone on silent? And I thought, oh, that's a stupid question. Of course his phone would be on silent.
Very stupid question.
Okay, it is now. So, sweetheart, one of the first wife zones in my memory, although perhaps I've been wife zoning a long time.
Since the day we met.
That's Teddy barking. If you hear the dog in the background, that's our dog.
Nobody cares.
No. I feel like one of the first wife zones happened in the car before Son's children. You were touring, we'll talk about this later, around America. You had done a massive gig somewhere, which you will remember, and we drove by ourselves. Instead of you being on the tour bus or flying or whatever, we drove ourselves through the night to the next gig, and we were trying to keep each other awake. You know where. For me, this is one of the first actual wife zones. So can you explain what happened?
I think there was others before that in Cancun. However.
All right. Okay.
So.
We'll get.
We had to drive from Atlantic City to Hershey, Pennsylvania, but we had friends. We'd done a show in around about in Philadelphia, I think, and we'd gone to Atlantic City to watch a show that our friends were doing. It was a Beatles show, an Elvis impersonation. Doesn't matter. And all of that to say, we were there until like 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I had to drive this great big V8, tank to Hershey, which was, I don't know, it's a good drive. It's, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 hours, 8 hours, maybe. I don't know, I can't remember.
Can I just say,
but we left Atlantic City at 2 o'clock in the morning.
In the morning, yeah. And people also keep, the other reason for this podcast is because a lot of people say, oh my gosh, you guys should document like all your travels around the world tours you've done, and the experiences you've had in performing in the performing space. And so instead of writing a book, this is another way to
so as close as we ever want to get.
Yeah. Okay. So we're driving in the car all night. We've had no sleep.
I'm driving, and it's like, I don't know,
Sunrise.
7:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Sun's coming up, and this one says, and I said, I'm getting really tired, but it had to be at the place at a certain time, and she said, well, how about we start singing some? Let's do some singing.
Because I'm an ideas girl. I'm an ideas girl.
Yeah.
Look, how I rigged up this today.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm an ideas girl, and I was like, I know.
And so she just springs up with, I know. How about this? Here's a story of a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely boys. Girls. All of them had hair of gold, like their mother. The youngest one in curls.
Cindy.
Here's a story
of a
Cindy.
Man named Brady.
And so we sort of mucked our way through this. Yeah, great. And so we made it through that, and then that sort of made us think a little bit, and I was, was still driving and awake. And then she goes,
it was a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Thank you.
Until then, we have, okay. And she says, I've got one.
I've got one.
She goes, meet Frank Flintstone.
I
just went, hang on, whoa.
I went, meet Frank Flintstone.
And so let's unpack that. This is the wife zone. We are going deeply into the deep end.
And he's hurtling along what highway where we, I don't know, whatever in America. And I'm like,
no clue. Somewhere.
Take it away.
Western Pennsylvania.
Because I'm keeping you awake. Meet Frank Flintstone.
So, do you know that melody? You remember that melody if you're a certain age, like us? Meet George Jetson.
That was, yeah. But
But no. So let's drill down on this. It's
Oh, do we need?
so it wasn't George Jetson. It was Frank Flintstone.
Correct.
And I said,
I stand
and
by
who is Frank Flintstone? And she said, Betty, Wilma. I said, yes, they're correct.
Barney and Frank.
Who's Frank? He is the red-headed stepchild of Fred Flintstone, who was never in the series.
He's the brother that didn't make it.
That didn't
Not
make
because
it.
he had red
No,
hair.
didn't make it.
But just, yeah.
That's it.
But so...
Sorry to all the redheads out there.
No, we don't have to apologise.
Not so sorry.
Because it's all good. My mum's a redhead. I love her. She's beautiful. Hello, darling. The
Case in point.
thing is, I was just keeping you thinking about the multiple levels
So
and
you did
layers.
so you did that on purpose. You said meet Frank Flintstone on purpose, did you? Really?
I thought it was a great idea.
Turned out it was, it kept us amused, and it has kept us amused for
Sadly,
another 20 years hence.
20 years later.
Here we go.
Anyway, so that was one of our first experiences in the wife zone. Randall, wait a minute, I gotta write this down. I gotta pull over.
Verbatim as I can possibly remember.
But at that point, I'm like, what?
Word for word. What are you doing? Why are we pulling over?
What is wrong with you? Are you all right?
And that's stuff that we have done now for 25 years.
Well,
I have said, hang on a sec.
He
And
just
I'll
goes,
go,
hang on a sec.
Hang on.
And gets his phone out. I'm like, what are you writing down? Did I just say something not right?
So another one that was around about...
I think we're out of time.
I think it's earlier than that one.
Oh, okay.
Earlier than that. And we went for a holiday. This one had just been through sort of all sorts of traumatic experience. She's been around the world. She's working in Germany and whatever.
I've been touring in Germany for months.
Yeah. So
I was exhausted.
and I had 10 days off. And so I said, okay, well, I'll meet you in Nashville.
But at that point, we were dating on other sides of the world.
Continents. And so we said, I said, don't worry, I'll meet you in Nashville. Make sure you're in Nashville on this day. And we then went down to Cancun, which was fabulous. We're staying at the Omni Hotel down there. I don't know if it's even still there. Who knows?
Probably not.
But it was beautiful. The turquoise water, the diving, all of that. Dived at Cozumel and all of that. It was fabulous. So we're lolling about in the pool one day. It was, it's stinking hot and very, very humid. And there was an African-American woman who was
striking.
I would say strikingly beautiful and oversized. It's not unfair to say she was oversized.
Well, but she was a curvy girl.
She was curvy.
But she was beautiful.
And she was wearing a incy-wincy yellow bikini. I mean, that was clinging on for dear life. It truly was.
Which is, I think, awesome.
Good for her.
That she felt so empowered.
Yep.
And felt beautiful. And she looked beautiful.
And she wore it loud
in
and
the
proud.
pool.
Good for her. So we're lolling about in the pool, and we've got our arms around each other. It's only about a metre deep, and this one's looking
so I'm hugging him like
over
this.
my shoulder, and she goes,
in his ear, very quietly.
"Oh my gosh! Look at that woman in the orange bikini." No, sorry, it's yellow. Did I say green? So in the space of the sentence, she had forgotten what she'd said earlier in the same sentence.
I was overcome by how gorgeous that woman looked.
She looked fabulous,
and
she was
amazed. But I couldn't, and I was like,
living large.
I just got my
She's
colours
great.
a little bit,
So
But
that
you
has
know,
come up.
but you knew who I was talking about. It's like meet Frank Flintstone.
Well,
you knew exactly
I think everyone
what
in the
I was
pool
talking about.
would have known who you were talking about.
Correct. Because she was the most strikingly beautiful woman there.
Look at the woman in the green bikini.
Okay, so here is...
No, orange bikini.
Wait.
Hang on. It's yellow.
Did I say green?
Did I say green?
The thing is that all I want to say, this is the point of the wife zone, is I always end with, and this is not by design, this is the way it works in the world. I always go, but you know what I mean. Why do I have to? You're my person.
Because
you
I
know
speak
what
Susan.
I mean.
over 25 years, I've learned how to speak Susie.
So this is what you're in for, everybody. We're going to draw this to a close right now because this is just our first
Yeah,
little
I
episode.
think you've all had enough.
I think
Well,
we've-
I've had enough.
Oh, I've had enough too.
Oh, no.
It took me longer.
It's time to leave.
Took me longer to engineer setting it.
We use the term engineering pretty loosely around here.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. Listen, so what we're going to do is we are going to, I don't know, we haven't worked this out. I think we're going to put this on Facebook or something, and we'll see. We'll see about your interaction, and if you guys want to see more, we'll record more. Maybe
I don't blame
we
you.
can start an Instagram thing, and we can actually get a whole podcast because he has 20 years of wife zones.
I've had
All ready to go.
blokes send me their own wife zones, and if if you want to do that,
I want to hear your wife zones. The other thing I do want to say quickly is Ran has been, playing with other artists and other bands and whatever, and I rock up in the band room, and he goes, "Oh, I'd like it. Oh, listen, blah blah blah. Oh, this is my wife."
You've met my current wife, haven't
You've
you?
met my wife.
Something like that. Yeah.
And I go, and no, I don't. I'm just standing there being a wife, and they're like.
This has happened a few times.
And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're the wife zone.
The wife zone.
You're the wife zone."
I had one guy at the Factory Theatre in Enmore. He dropped to his knees and worshipped her. He said, "I love you." It's pretty hilarious.
I think because everyone can relate, and so
relates.
so we're just going to take this and see where
we
it
might
flies.
get onto like TV remotes at some point.
What?
Or not.
What do you mean?
No, that's a different subject.
I don't like remotes. There's too
Cheers.
many.
See ya.
Bye. Trust me. Remember I said follow my lead.
That was good. Okay, shut it.
Oh. I did say follow my lead because I had a little plan, but not a script.
Oh my God, who are you talking to?
I don't know.